Lantern's a part-time provision. We run 3 days a week, 35 weeks a year in term time. And we are a Waldorf-inspired provision, so we've both been working in mainstream and in Waldorf settings. So we sort of, as teachers, we have a kind of straddle both those worlds. For families that are not familiar with Waldorf education, it follows the developmental journey of the child.
I think the biggest thing and the most important thing is how happy everyone is here. So you look in the garden and the kids are really happy to be here, and the teachers are really happy to be here, and the parents are really happy. Everybody is working off everyone's energy. You couldn't get any more understanding from the teachers about the individuality of our kids.
We didn't ultimately choose like a specific Steiner approach, but having ended up at Winstones and just loving the way that it suited our girls, it just drew us in, and the magic of the way that they learn their letters and their numbers, you know, getting it in their bodies, and it just feels really sort of holistic and nourishing.
Initially it was because I knew I wanted something different from the state schools, and Matilda just did so well at kindy. She really enjoyed kindy. It was a really beautiful experience for her, and this felt like a real natural progression. So we were actually supposed to go somewhere else, and we came, and just the teachers just blew me away, and the standards of work, and the fact that the classes were so small, and it's just a beautiful energy in this building, and it feels very contained and held. I felt that it would be a really easeful transition from kindy.
It's not, it's not just maths and English. That there's a real mix. I mean, if you think about the main lesson themes, that is like a foundation of our work. But through that comes numeracy, comes literacy. We also have skill sessions specifically in those areas. And the subject lessons we have equal importance in our day, in our week, in our term, to main lesson. Yes, slightly less time is given to them, but the children will do form drawing every week. They will do handwork every week. They will have games every week. It's not that core skills are the only focus and that the other things are sprinkles on the cake. In terms of the Waldorf curriculum, if you think about head, heart, hands, the children developing their fine and gross motor skills, their social interaction skills, all of that is equally as important as the content.
Aaron started that about 1.5 years ago, and it's been a very nurturing experience for him. The teaching, I would say the teaching's exceptional. Jenny's been absolutely amazing. And he came feeling quite, I'd say, underconfident about his learning and quite a bit disengaged from learning. He'd been to like a regular primary school, but coming to the Lantern, I just feel Jenny's just brought out the best in him somehow, and he's really re-engaged with learning, and I feel like he's sort of reconnected to a love of learning and confidence. He's much more confident in his skills and abilities, and I think that's probably because of the very sort of holistic approach that they have to learning and using all the senses and their body and artwork. It just feels like it's been a very complete education that's, for Aaron, I know it's really sparked his interest in the subject, so the way that the subjects are taught really seems to capture the children's imagination.
So my experience as a parent of Lantern is wonderful. I have 3 children. All 3 of them have experienced Lantern, and they love, or they loved, each day of coming to Lantern. they never complained about getting up in the morning and coming to Lantern. You know, that's wonderful. If you have children that actually really enjoy the start of their day, they will get the most out of coming to Lantern and learning.
I feel like some of the homeschool provisions, because we did try another setting before we came here, that for some parents, and us particularly, who have family who maybe have come from a very mainstream approach to education, that we were looking for something that really held the literacy and numeracy well, but with that really beautifully infused creative element. And having not come from a Steiner background, I really love the way that they teach. It's almost like they include all subjects in all areas. It's like this beautiful amalgamation of art and creativity in with the literacy and numeracy that seems to really help children remember it and really embody it. And then it's almost like the learning is deeper. It's like they really feel into the subject, and then it sticks with them, because it's like a story and a journey rather than just, you know, this is the sum and this is how you work it out. It's like just all woven really beautifully, and I think that's quite unique. But at the same time, especially at the Lantern, I really feel like the teachers, they're just so well organised, so well structured. They've thought of everything, and I cannot believe the amount of stuff that they cram into the 3 days that they have with the children. The quality of the work and the amount of work that they produce is astounding.
What they cover during the days, you know, I mean, when I look at how much work they do, at the end of the year, when you get your books back and you look through what they've covered, in 3 days, it's really is quite, well, I'm gobsmacked actually.
I think the real beauty of the approach of this type of education and learning is that it's brought in such an imaginative and sort of inspirational way through art, through story, so that what's engaged in the children, first of all, is their imagination. The learning comes through their experience and their emotional landscape and their imaginative landscape. It comes through that, first of all. It's not just an intellectual or a cerebral experience. I think that is a really wonderful thing for children.
And there's a lot of the times where Alice, Jenny, Hannah will seem to understand our children better than we do ourselves. They see through those skills, which is wonderful. And that's what creates its alternative. We're allowing everything to expand rather than putting them in the box. And those children are becoming those individual people just through such ease, really. So really beautiful.
Having grown up with teachers as parents and obviously been through mainstream education myself, actually Alice and Jenny as teachers just have blown me away with the quality of their teaching. For me, I always think about people having a calling, and that you can really tell when someone is like really in their purpose, and I just think both the teachers here are so in their purpose, and they bring so much love and light to the children. It's amazing.
I think one of the things that's been interesting for us as teachers is seeing children that have come to Lantern who have come through Steiner kindergartens. They've come through via that route. And then we've also had children that have joined us who have come from other settings and rediscovered how joyous learning can be.
A love of learning.